Flowers given with love, that is what I called my memory. Once, during another trip to the monastery, my friend and I visited Father Gabriel. In his cell, there was another believer, a woman. Suddenly, Father Gabriel said, "Let's go to Masketa." This is what he would say when he was planning to go to the Svetitskovali, the Cathedral of the Living Pillar. We immediately assumed that we were going to the cathedral. We got ready and set off. Father Gabriel walked ahead, and we followed him. Along the way, Father Gabriel was talking with the woman. When we approached the gates of the cathedral, I saw a boy around 7 to 8 years old, standing with flowers in his hands. He was barefoot and dressed only in pants. He was selling flowers. It was clear that the poor boy was helping his family in this way. I imagined that he reminded Father Gabriel of his own childhood. Meanwhile, Father Gabriel continued talking with that woman. I wondered if he had noticed the boy. Immediately, Father Gabriel stopped the conversation, embraced the boy with love, and kissed him many times. Then he paid for and bought all the flowers. He divided them into 2 parts and lovingly gave them to me and my friend. When we returned home, a miracle happened. The flowers did not wither. I put the bouquet in a vase, and for many days they bloomed. They even grew roots. It's a pity I didn't think to transplant them into the soil. Later, I threw those flowers away. I deeply regret it now. Love, after all, never ends and never wilts. But I threw them away because of my inability to love. I'm still angry with myself for how I could have done that. I want to recount another occurrence. When I first entered his cell, Father Gabriel wholeheartedly offered me noodle soup. The bowl was full, with slices of bread. The bowl was so full that it was dripping onto the table. He kindly offered, "Please, try it for your health." I very politely declined, but Father Gabriel was doubly courteous. "I was waiting for you and made this soup for you." I thought, if he knew me, he would never have offered such a soup. I hate this kind of food. I politely refused again. "Thank you, Father Gabriel. I don't want to eat. Please, you eat." "I ate 2 servings before you arrived, and I can't eat any more." He answered. I thought, how thin he is and how much he eats. I judged him. Let him take this soup off the table. It looks like food for pigs. Father Gabriel understood my thoughts and replied, "Okay, if you won't eat, I'll take it away." He took the bowl and placed it in the cupboard. Then he sat directly in front of me. What remained in my memory was a completely empty table. There wasn't even a salt. He seemed to remind me of a Charlie Chaplin character in one of his movies, a poor vagabond who possesses nothing. Then I felt uncomfortable. He was such a great monk, and I compared him to Chaplin. 30 years have passed, and I have always remembered this incident. My memories ended there, and I wasn't aware of what happened next. Just like Chaplin smiling out of awkwardness, that's what I recalled. I always pondered over this. What did this memory mean? What did it give me? What was it hinting at? And suddenly, I understood the meaning. Thank God. Father Gabriel had been expecting me that day, and he had nothing but that soup. He kindly offered me everything he had. Just out of courtesy, I should have eaten at least a couple of spoonfuls. This story left me with great sorrow, again, because of my inability to love. I deeply regret it. Father Gabriel loved the phrase, "Ah, what times those were." He would repeat it from time to time. He would tell a story, and the next day he would say again, "Ah, what times those were." One day, I couldn't resist and asked, "Father, why do you say that, even when you're recalling yesterday?" "I was learning from the Lord then," he replied. During his lifetime, Father Gabriel gave me his photograph and asked me to make copies, which he then distributed to anyone who wanted them. Periodically, I would print them and bring them to him, and he would give them to visitors. Eventually, he asked me to print 40 copies. I, of course, printed them, but I was late in bringing them to the monastery, and that's when the story began. He started scolding me and sent a devout woman to fetch the photographs. The thing is, absolutely no one knew about these photographs. I had carefully placed them and kept them in the top drawer of my desk under a clean white sheet of paper. Not even my parents knew. The woman sent by Father Gabriel came to my house. I wasn't home, and my mother opened the door. She asked my mother for the photographs. My mother, knowing nothing about them, said I wasn't home and that she didn't know where the photographs were. The woman directly told her, "The photographs are in the desk, in the top drawer, under the white sheet of paper." My mother found them and handed them to her. When I returned home, my mother said to me, "Father Gabriel sent a woman to get the photographs. It turns out you printed them, and I gave them to her." "Mom, how did you know about the photographs?" "Wasn't it you who told her where they were kept? She knew exactly where they were." I was very surprised. Father Gabriel knew everything. Father Gabriel did not just ask, he pleaded. His humility was astonishing. Who could truly understand this? One day he asked me, "Sister, do you have any beads? I want to adorn the Dormition icon of the Mother of God, and I have nothing. Maybe also a piece of beautiful fabric, some beads." "Father Gabriel, of course," I replied. I gathered all the beads I had and gave them to him wholeheartedly. I also had some nice fabric. I was happy and thanked God for this. Father Gabriel was extremely delighted, like a child. He even started crying. When I went back, I thought, why did I give away even those white beads? Why did he need so much? On the second day, I went to Father Gabriel and saw those white beads on his wrist. "See, Ketevan? These are the ones I like the most. I don't even take them off. They are my prayer beads, and I pray with them." I suddenly felt liberated and experienced great joy. One day, Father Gabriel was lying down, and I was sitting next to him. He was so endearing, so gracefully behaved. He took off his hat, and I couldn't restrain myself. I kissed him on the forehead 3 times. How did I dare? And then disaster struck. "How dare you kiss me on the forehead? You're a street woman. I'm a 40-year-old monk, and you want me to fall?" He threw something at me, and then he threw me out of the cell, cursing at me. I cannot repeat the words he said to me. "Remember this well," he said to me through the door. "Approaching a monk is like playing with fire. How dare you?" The whole monastery became aware of it. How else could it be? "I don't want to see her feet in the monastery. Don't open the doors to her anymore." Another memory. I go to Father Gabriel and I am happy. I feel spiritual comfort and I don't need anything else. But you can't hide anything from him. I want to note that communication with him was full of surprises. I could never understand when or why he would start scolding. There I am, smiling, and suddenly it starts. He gets terribly angry, throws a chair, and says to me, "Come on, answer me. Why do you come to me?" Some force compelled me to rise from the chair and lean against the wall. He continues shouting at me, "Answer me. Why do you come to me? What do we have in common? Do you want to ruin me? I've been a monk for 40 years. You're a young woman. Why do you come to me?" He didn't relent, and I must respond somehow. I was thinking about what to say. If I say, "I love you," it won't work. He'll throw me out of the monastery. Of course, there is a correct answer. I could have answered properly, as expected, saying that I'm here for spiritual matters, but that would have been a blatant lie from me. And of course, I couldn't say that. About 10 minutes passed, but he doesn't let up and continues shouting and scolding. Suddenly, I ask myself, indeed, why do I go to him? And he continues, "Speak, why do you come to me? Gabriel is tired of you." I tried to answer, but I could not say either of those things. And finally, I replied, "I missed you. Oh, woe is me. I'm not the actress Nato Vachanadze. She was a very famous Georgian actress. That's why you're coming here? You street woman, get out, and don't let me see you here again." Of course, the whole monastery found out about it. It turns out she missed me, and that's why she comes to me. She should leave. Everyone heard it. Monks are a part of one big family. It's impossible to hide your squabbles. Everyone will know about it. In the monastery, like in the family, everyone was supposed to know everything about each other, but from the family, no one was supposed to take anything out.